Hello, and welcome to the Essential Oil Science Series, video number 5. Today we have the rare opportunity of looking closely into the life of an essential oil enthusiast. I'm at one of their dwellings now. Essential oil enthusiasts can be distinguished from their nearest relative, the Homo sapien, by their very strong but pleasant odor and by their displays of these little puppies in their dwelling places. Bottles of essential oils, like this one here, lavender. This particular enthusiast has such displays all over the dwelling, including the kitchen. We have pills such as these, and then more little bottles like this, presumably to aid in the preparation of food. Let's take this one here, coriander. Thank you for joining me today. I'm only getting away with that because the essential oil enthusiast is away, supporting other essential oil enthusiasts. So we're going to go over some chemistry, and then I'll go over last week's experiment and present a new one, the same pattern as usual. And we're going to be looking at these two guys here, coriander and lavender, and what's similar between the two and what makes them different. So let's look at the chemistry involved. Both of these substances contain this guy here, linalool, and as the OL ending suggests, this is an alcohol, and as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 carbons suggest it's a monoterpene. With this oxygen, it's a monoterpenoid, and in particular an alcohol. So I have over here, conveniently, doTERRA's oil chemistry wheel, and this is the updated one, and this is the first of 4 pages. When Dr. David Hill presented this chemistry wheel, he said that its main function was so that you could play around with oils, essentially. So let's take a look at lavender, for example, which is what we think of when we think of linalool. Check out its nearest neighbors, petitgrain, clarisage, bergamot. If you don't like the smell of lavender but you're trying to get the same effect, you could try petitgrain, clarisage, or bergamot. So, because they have the same main chemical constituents, in this case linalool and linalool acetate. So that's the purpose of this wheel. So linalool is a monoterpene and it's an alcohol that's in this section. Linalool acetate is a monoterpene, but it's an ester, so it has the ATE ending just like all of these other esters. So these guys here, lavender, petitgrain, clarisage, all have a similar smell, a similar base smell at least. So what's this linalool doing over here? Why is it separate from the other two? This one contains coriander, cilantro, and basil, and if you take those oils and smell them and compare them with these guys here, you'll note that the base smell is quite different. These are normally described as floral, whereas these are normally described as woody. So what's the difference? Let's go back to the chemistry. It's quite simple, actually, and it's amazing that the brain can sense that these two are different. The only difference is that this OH is over here for one group and over here for the other. So it's just that small little switch, and for some reason our olfactory systems have decided that switch is important, so we notice it. They have a different smell. Okay, so that's a little bit of chemistry. Both sets of oils containing linalool have a calming effect. So I'm hoping that this past week, when you went into those stressful situations and applied lavender oil, that it helped you to calm down and those stressful times a little more easily because you were more calm. So we're going to look at why linalool has a calming effect on the brain, and then look at a new study for this week. So linalool, it's a monoterpene, so it makes its way across the blood-brain barrier into the brain. Once there, it affects neurotransmitter levels, and we're going to be looking at 3 neurotransmitters in the brain and how linalool affects those. And these are studies that are on the doTERRA Science blog, so you can look them up. These are some great studies. Linalool has been well researched, including its effects on neurotransmitters. So one of the things linalool does is affects serotonin levels in the brain, and it seems to increase serotonin levels. And they think it does it by decreasing serotonin reuptake. So serotonin is released in the synapses between neurons as a message is passed from one neuron to the next, and then it's taken up again out of that synapse. Linalool seems to decrease the efficiency of the taking back of the serotonin, so there's more serotonin available, and serotonin seems to be involved in pathways in the brain that are correlated with a healthy lifestyle, healthy mood, healthy cognition, healthy sleep patterns, healthy appetite control, things like that. So if you have a good amount of serotonin in your neural systems, you're going to grease these healthy pathways. You're more likely to have a healthy outlook on life. That's why serotonin is targeted by a lot of antidepressants and anxiety medications. So the second neurotransmitter that's affected is glutamate, and in particular what linalool has been shown to do is it decreases the effectiveness of NMDA, and NMDA is a receptor for glutamate. So glutamate is a very general neurotransmitter. It's all through the brain. So if you're blocking the receptors for glutamate, then you're just causing an overall decrease in the overall activity in the brain. So it's a sedative. It has a sedative effect on the brain. The other thing that linalool does is it increases GABA neurotransmitter levels. And what does that do? GABA neurotransmitters are involved in the inhibitory neural networks in the brain. So it increases inhibition in the brain. Once again, overall decrease in activity in the brain. So linalool has these 3 proven effects on neurotransmitter levels in the brain, causing an overall calming. So for those out there who, friends or associates who say, oh, it's a placebo effect, lavender smells good, so it makes you feel good and makes you feel calm. Here are some great studies showing that this effect is real. It has real effects on real neurotransmitters. Even people who don't have a sense of smell. In fact, I have a friend who lent a diffuser with some oils to a friend, and the husband complained when those oils had to be given back and the diffuser had to be given back. And she said, well, why do you care? You don't even have a sense of smell. So even without a sense of smell, this guy, the husband, recognized that these things were having a real effect on him and lifted his mood. Okay, so this week's experiment is a simple one. It's very similar to last week's. You're going to, again, be using lavender or any other linalool containing, check the thing, any other linalool containing oil. And this time you're going to diffuse it during these stressful times. I'm going to be doing it during bedtime. I always get stressed out when I'm trying to get the kids into bed, and they need calming, I need calming. So I'm going to be diffusing lavender or clarisage or some linalool containing oil during bedtime. So please do the same this week and put your comments down below. I really look forward to I love hearing your results. So put them down below. See you next week.